What's going on, guys? It's Gendo here, and I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of my Hexagon series. And today, Toronto FC will be taking on the San Jose Earthquakes and the Los Angeles Galaxy in the start of the 2031 MLS season. But before we get to that, we must go over how we've fared in the off-season, what kind of trades have we made, what kind of acquisitions have we made. So let's get right to it, shall we? Taking a look at the transfers, first off, the trades. We were able to trade away Alex Petke, who was our backup center back as well as defensive mid, for draft picks. We sent Alex Petke out to NYCFC for a couple of supplemental draft picks for the 2033 season, as well as a normal draft pick in the 2032 season. We also were the recipients of some trades, as we acquired from DC United the right back Christian Bravo. All we gave up for it was our super draft pick from this year, which was not a big loss, as there wasn't much that we could do with that draft pick anyway. We also acquired from FC Dallas another back defender by the name of Kevin Furlanetto Benchimol. What a name that is. He's 32 years old. He's an American. With that name, you wouldn't expect him to be American. And he's got some really solid stats. 14 in pace, 15 acceleration, 16 agility. I love his pace. I absolutely love his mental abilities too. Great there. And on the defensive side, a 16 in marking, 15 in tackling. Could do a little better with the technique, but overall, an extremely solid defender, and I'm really glad that I picked him up. Yes, he's a little on the old side. Like I said, he's 32 years old, but he is going to be my starting right back. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is a solid player. And now, okay, those are all the trades. Now let's take a look at all of the transfers, the ins and outs. First, taking a look at the outs. Some players that were given up mostly because they were just flat out bad. Jordan Gutierrez and Ethan Horvath. Ethan Horvath, not all that bad. He just did not want to sign on a new contract. Mostly because I was offering him less than what he wanted, and he said, no, I'm going to take my talents somewhere else. And right now that somewhere else is the unemployment line, as no one has yet signed him. The other one was Kyle Kowalski, who was in the waiver draft. Nobody picked him up, so then he was just dumped out outside the building, saying thank you very much, but we don't want you anymore. Some players that actually sold for money. First, Tim Sartiagin was picked up by the Swiss club St. Gallen for £140,000, mostly because I didn't want to continue paying his almost £200,000 a year salary. St. Gallen now paying him £250,000, which I think I got a good deal out of him because he's quite the aging player. He's 34 years old. He's great on the defensive side, but his speed leaves a lot to be desired. So I was lucky to get any money for him. £140,000, not bad at all. Same thing with James Tobin. James Tobin was picked up also, I believe, by the Swiss club Lugano. Lugano paying £43,000 for him, but at the same time, I really needed to get better defenders. I needed to bring in younger defenders. And as was the case with Sartiagin, this guy has a great defensive mindset. He's got great defensive and mental attributes, but his speed was diminishing. It was starting to slow down, and I didn't feel like keeping him on for one more season would be beneficial to me. So I let him go. But the one that probably killed a lot of my fan support was getting rid of Rudy Guevara. I sold Rudy Guevara to the Dutch club AAB, but I'm trying to think of what the original name was, but we'll just call it AAB now. I sold him there for £2 million, which is a very solid offer, but when you take a look at what he's getting paid there, that's exactly how much he wanted to get paid here, and due to the salary cap restrictions for the club, for him to make the jump from £45,000 per year to £200,000, I just said and to £200,000 per year, I would have had 4 players making over that amount. And when you're trying to build a squad in the MLS, when half of your salary is going to 4 players, it's really hard to try and cobble together a starting 11, much less a full team, with only 900,000 pounds to play with. So it was really nice for the season that he had for us. It was magical, but unfortunately, him wanting a new contract in that amount of money just wasn't going to happen to us. So, like I said, lucky to be able to get that much out of him, but in the end, we couldn't keep him. And then finally, a few more free transfers and or waivers. Nico Manninen, who came up through the academy, just wasn't going to cut it in the back line, so got rid of him. As you can see, Christian Bravo. Christian Bravo has been waived from the team mostly because of the salary cap restriction. He came in and I basically acquired the contract that was given to him from DC United. It was a little steep. He was coming in at 150,000 pounds per year, and unfortunately, he bumped us over the salary cap max by about 20,000 pounds. So unfortunately, I had to dump him because of that salary cap restriction. And at the same time, I figured I have some wingers coming up through the reserve side, through the academy. I might as well get rid of the aging Steve Hewitt as well. Steve Hewitt only played in a few games last season, was fairly decent, but it was very apparent he was never going to be first team side, only be a backup, and I could foresee a lot of problems if I only kept him as a backup. He'd be whining for first team football, yada yada yada. Just wasn't worth my time. So I dumped him and kept on I want to say 2 wingers that are making reserve side money, so only 22,000 pounds a year. So I think I made a good, smart move here. And now coming into the ins, I drafted 3 players from, I forget which draft this was. I think this was the Super Draft. Firstly, Mark Brown, 23-year-old, one of the wingers I was talking about. And I really like his pace. I really like his aerial ability. He's 6'2", and he has a jumping reach of 16 and heading of 15. Yes, I really want him on my corners. I really want him being in front of net to get up and get those corners. Though everything else around him, nothing to scoff at. A 16 on finishing. Yes, he's got the 15 in heading, 12 first touch, great mentals. His pace, 14, agility of 11. Nothing wrong with keeping this guy around, even for the reserve pay that he's getting of 22,000 pounds. Definitely a good signing, a good pickup in the draft. Second player I drafted, Greg Dillon. Once again, another winger/striker. Also 23 years old. He's a lot taller at 6'6", so you know he's going to be getting up there for the heading, since his heading is 13 and jumping reach of 15. A little to be desired in the finishing. He could, get it a couple notches higher than 11, but I don't know how much more he can develop. His pace is very decent. 10 there, 11 agility, 13 acceleration. And everything else up and down the board looks fairly decent. Looking to be more of a backup player than anything, but that's okay. I have no qualms about playing him as a backup. And then finally, Paul Whitfield, who's probably going to be the least played out of the 3 draftees, if he even gets played at all. He's a 21-year-old cam who can also play center mid. He's fairly small at 5'7", not compared to the giants of the strikers we had. His pace is basically what I look for in this, with a 14 there, 14 acceleration, 13 agility. Good mentals, but his technical abilities are a little lacking. He needs to develop those if he wants to be able to push into the first team side. But as of right now, I don't see that's going to happen. I feel like he's just going to be released at the end of the year. And then, of course, the one player that I told you about the last episode, the one player that we actually bought and brought in, was Andrea Zivkovic. We brought him in from Barcelona, even though he started off the series at Partizan. He's 34 years old. Of course, he's a Serbian. And yes, look at that amount of money I'm paying him, 3.6 million pounds. The only way we're getting away with that is because he's on a designated contract, and the only thing that counts towards the salary cap is, I believe, the amount of money we paid to bring him in. So we only are taking $245,000 out of that cap hit instead of 3.6 million, because 3.6 million is double the MLS salary cap. Fortunately for us, Toronto FC have a massive transfer wage budget. Not Why did I say transfer wage? I just combined two things. We have a massive wage budget. When I came in, it was set to £10 million, so we were easily able to sign him on with the amount of money we had left over. His stats so far, not diminished. All up and down the board look great, and he looks to be factoring in as my starting left winger because Dave Jones is the starting right winger. He's basically taking over for where Rudy Guevara was, and Steve Hewitt at that point. So good pickup there. And this last one is more of a panic loanee in because I have a good number of injuries to my back line before the first game even starts. His name is Morad Haji, and I'm loaning him in from Feyenoord. He's a 22-year-old Dutch player, even though the name wouldn't suggest Dutch. Good speed. 15 pace, 11 agility, 13 acceleration with great natural fitness, great strength. He can bully people off the ball, decent mental abilities, and then taking a look at his defensive stats, 16 in heading, 17 marking, and 15 in tackling. Solid pickup, and yes, I am paying his full amount of wages, $75,000 per year, which puts me right up against the salary cap max. I cannot bring anyone else in, so there's no more transfer budget. There's no more transfer news to be had for the rest of the season. I cannot do anything else with the amount of money I have left in the salary cap. These are all the players, and this is going to be your lineup for Toronto FC for this entire year. So, with all that in mind, let's kick off for this first match versus San Jose. I think I need to sim through a couple other matches before we get to this. I probably should have done that before we even got things going. That's okay. I am excited for the season. The Canadian Championship once again taking place right before the CONCACAF Champions League begins for 2031-32. And let's now get this started. I mean, San Jose coming in with a very defensive formation with that 4-5-1 right down the middle. We, of course, going with the 4-5-1, the V formation. And the starting 11 for today will be Noel Marie in net. We'll have Benchimol, Haji, Gat, and Neret as the back four. Hamzawi will be the defensive mid today. The two center mids will be Yazzie and Franco. Out on the wings, Zivkovic and Dave Jones, and sitting up front, Zach Strand. So let's kick off and see if we can start this season off right with a win and 3 points. Alright, let's kick this opening match off in the rain, coming to you live from BMO Field in Toronto. Already, 90 seconds in, we are coming up with an attack. Tab Yazzie, finding space, trying to find space. Out to Zivkovic on the wing. Still cannot break through that cluster of San Jose players. Oh, we do find something, and Dave Jones, left-footed, slots it just inside the right post, and Toronto FC get off to a flying start, 1-0 after just 2 minutes. And this is the type of offense I want to see for the next 18 months. If this offense can get us through all the way to the CONCACAF Champions League final, I would be absolutely ecstatic. But we need to get there first. We need to play insane if we want to get to that place first. Oh, my God, really? My loanee in the first match decides to get himself injured. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring Hamzawi down and then sub on Alexis Gomez into the defensive mid position. Not ideal, especially since I've been gutted at the back with 2 injuries to my defensive players. And now the guy I loan in to help out with that gets himself injured. Um, you can do better, guys. Just go out there, whatever. Second 45. Let's kick off. Let's try and get another goal. Let's try and put this game to bed and not have to worry about anything else. At the half, the stats, San Jose actually getting more shots off than us, 4-3. We do have one more shot on target than them. Deep throw-in, Tab Yazzie trying to pick out a cross into Zivkovic, who finds Dave Jones, who gets himself a brace on the opening day, slotting it just underneath the goalkeeper, and makes it 2-0 to Toronto FC. Great start, boys. Keep it up. But 5 minutes later, San Jose now driving. Good tackle by Gomez, throwing the long ball forward. Nobody on the end of it, though, as San Jose goalkeeper picks it up. And maybe they're going to hit us on a counter right now. They're struggling to try and get past halfway. Long ball forward. It's a good ball. He kicks it. It actually bounced off our goalkeeper. It bounced off Marie, and San Jose Earthquakes have got one back. Not good, boys. Not good. We'll give them a little bit of encouragement before we kick off again. 70 minutes gone, and I'm thinking about bringing on another change, but let's see how this goes. Tab Yazzie to Gomez, who fires from long range. Is that James Jones' hat trick? It's Dave Jones' hat trick. 3-1 Toronto FC. An opening day hat trick for Dave Jones. This man is playing out of his mind. I'm going to bring on a sub. Cordero is coming on for Hamzawi. He's looking a little tired. And then I'm actually going to sub off Zach Strand. Dave Powell is going to come on up front. Maybe he can do a little better than Zach Strand is today. So for the last 20 minutes or so, made all my subs. 78 minutes gone. We do have another throw-in. Yazzie to Gomez, trying to play the ball through the middle. It works. Oh, Dave Jones! Again! This man is a goal-scoring machine. That's 4 goals in one match. And this man is looking to go after the MLS Golden Boot from the first match. Only 1 minute of stoppage time, and that's pretty much come and gone. Toronto FC with 4 goals. They're still going. There may be one last kick in the match. Cordero to Franco. There could still be one more goal here. Nope, that's it. That's the final kick of the game. Full-time whistle. 4-1. It actually should be Dave Jones 4, San Jose Earthquakes 1. Dave Jones absolutely amazing. 10 shots to San Jose's 8. We've had 8 on target to their 2. Wow. Dave Jones. That's going to be the title of this episode, is that Dave Jones is a beast. Look at that. 4 goals. Amazing. Now, I don't want to see... Okay, Fumasa also comes back. I don't see anything on Haji, so the injury doesn't look fatal as what I feared it would be. So, that's good. We'll have him back. And our next match is against LA Galaxy. We'll need him back, since that's going to be a tough match. So sit tight. We'll be right back. Alright, and we're back for the second match against the Los Angeles Galaxy, and we're going to be playing at the StubHub Center. It looks to be almost sold out. 25,700 out of 27,000 to watch this contest, and they're coming out with a 4-4-1-1, looking to play predominantly through the middle, it looks like. And of course, we're sticking with the 4-5-1-V formation. The only thing that's changing is Naret is not playing left back. We were switching him out for Cordero. And everything else looks the same. And on the bench, Fumasa, coming off of injury, now taking the place of Greg Dillon. That's about it. It's pretty much the same team. Let's see if we can get the same results. So let's kick off and see what happens. There's got to be that one guy that just doesn't like my team talks. Alright, and we kick off. And this time we're going to stay in our all reds, and LA Galaxy come out in their all whites. looking to try and take control of this match early. We've already had a shot on them. We could have another one right here. Hamzawi. Oh, rebound. Zivkovic. Oh, that could have been Zivkovic's first goal in the MLS. But unfortunately, the keeper parries it wide. It was a great attempt by Hamzawi, but nothing came of it. 16 minutes on now, and LA Galaxy coming forward. Good tackle by, I'm going to have to get used to saying his name, Benjamol. He's probably, I'm not going to say his double last name. It's just going to be Benjamol for me. Good clearance by Gat. Strand couldn't get on the end of that, though. Boys need to keep possession of that ball a little better. Through. Good tackle by Haji. Oh, and then he follows that up with a horrific tackle. Dave Gatt getting a yellow card for earlier, but that doesn't excuse the fact that we concede a penalty. Mondragon. Marie dove the right way, just couldn't get all the way to the post. And LA Galaxy take the lead 1-0 after 17 minutes. We already have 3 cards against us. After 20 minutes, we had 3 cards against us. Boys need to calm down a little. Oh, great. Another one of my defenders is injured. Alejandro Cordero is out. Naret's coming in. He originally was supposed to get some rest, but that's not the case anymore. I don't like my defenders keep dropping like flies. 32 minutes gone, and LA Galaxy, yeah, here. Oh, Jesus, no. Dave Gatt gets sent off for a second yellow card because he cannot stop fouling. Hamzawi now is dropping back, and that's pretty much all I can do now. I'm going to play the last, was it 57 minutes with 10 men? Yeah, that's not good at all. Aggressively telling you to concentrate. Never like being in this situation, as we almost never win when we're down 10 men. And wow, what a free kick. Cannons off the underside of the crossbar. Los Angeles take a 2-0 lead with 34 minutes gone. It's not looking bright for us. It's not looking like we'll catch any breaks here today. Everyone go out, do much better than what you did, though I don't know how much 10 men are going to do against the LA Galaxy. Good dispossessed by Benjamol. Dave Jones coming up the right, throws it forward to Franco. We actually have some space. Oh, great pass. Smart pass to Zach Strand. And we actually get one back with 10 men. It's 2-1 now after 50 minutes. Naret with a throw-in just 2 minutes later. Yazzie coming through the center, needs to hold on to the ball better. Franco back to Yazzie, through to Zach Strand. Zach Strand, that was a weak shot. Keeper saw it all the way and was never going in goal. Probably could have taken one more touch on it before cannoning it. Probably would have been a goal. Anyway, we get the ball back. Trying to find space through the wings. Not happening. Yazzie to Franco to Strand. Can he find space? He turns round one defender. Decent attempt at a shot, but it's parried away. We get a corner out of it. Franco up. Not quite in. Yazzie continuing the attack, but he's tackled right off of it. One of their players is now injured. I'm going to tell these guys to push forward. We are only 1 goal down now, which is very surprising. We need to keep pushing forward. However, not much is happening. I'm going to bring on Jankovic for Franco. And since Zivkovic hasn't been doing all that well, Fumasa is going to be coming on. Those are going to be all my subs. 15 minutes left. We need to get some attacking going. Push forward. 87 minutes gone. We do have an attack. But LA Galaxy cut that out. Push it way downfield. We do get back. It recycles it back to Marie. Marie. Good kick. We need to hold on to the ball, boys. Can't win games like that. You also can't really win games when you're down to 10 men. That makes things a little harder. Haji with a dangerous tackle. We could have gone down to 9 at that point, but we do get the ball forward. Zach Strand. Jankovic. Oh, come on, boys. The keeper was down. Jankovic couldn't take a chance. He was tackled right off the ball. And 4 minutes of stoppage time, but they've all come and gone. Sadly, we do not win this match, even though at the very end it looks like we had some signs of life with 10 men. But at the end of the day, it was just that. Being down to 10 men is what killed us. I'm not happy with the results. We could have beaten them. And maybe if Dave Gatt didn't get off with a red card, we probably could have. So we are going to leave this match getting 1 win out of 2. Not a bad start to the season, but it definitely could have been a lot better. But the season is early. Look at all these matches we could still yet to play. When we come back, trying to decide what would be like a good cutoff point. And it'll probably be Philadelphia, New England. We'll come back and live com those 2 matches right at the beginning of May as like a halfway point between that and the Canadian Championship. Or I could skip over the Canadian Championship and go directly to CONCACAF Champions League. Depends. But that's a question I'll have for another time, as I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this episode. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Comments, suggestions, questions, anything else, please leave in the comment box below. But as always, this is Gendo, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.